Once again, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We'll be doing exercises on the floor for this session. Kind of warming up, loosening up the skeletal system, and then we'll do some abdominal work. I like doing ab exercises on the floor. So just finding a comfortable spot, a comfortable position to sit on the floor. Might be however you want. Cross legs, legs flat. If you don't like sitting on the floor, don't do it. But we were just sort of getting an idea of how the body feels. I'm just turning my head from side to side. Leaning from side to side. Just to get an idea. Again, there may be some parts of the body that feel particularly tight. Here, just a little bit of a stretch side to side. My feet go the other way. The shoulders, circles. Bringing the shoulders back, the shoulder blades together, and forward. Just feeling sort of the chest opening and then the upper back opening. I'm just going to lean forward a little bit. I'm going to engage my feet. I'm kind of stretching the back of my legs. Just sweeping from side to side. Again, I'm leaning forward, but I'm not trying to touch my head to my legs. Just a little hinge and a twist. And I'm just getting a sense of how my back feels, how my low back feels, my neck. Okay, I have kind of an idea. I've moved everything around, and now coming to lying on the floor, lie on your back, knees bent. Maybe let your feet go out to the sides of a yoga mat, or go out, a little wider than hip width apart, letting the knees fall together. So just lying here. Letting the body kind of settle in, letting the body sink into the floor, into the mat. And bringing your hands overhead as you breathe in. Ah. And bringing the hands down as you breathe out. And just a few times with your breath, whatever the pattern of breathing is. You might feel how your hips automatically move as well. So you're breathing in, tucking your hips down, letting the low back arch up as you press the pelvis down. As you breathe out, bringing the low back flat with the floor. You can feel this movement. We're just exaggerating how the spine moves with the breath. And just come to stillness. Bringing your knees up. Rolling from side to side. And letting your shoulders and your hips move together. Your head moving in the same direction. And now letting your head be still. And moving your knees from side to side. And then if you want, moving your head in the opposite direction of the knees. Stillness. And bringing one foot down, one foot to the mat. And holding the other knee close to the chest. And feeling the breath here. What you'll notice is that the breath moves very easily in one half of the abdomen and not in the other. This is like a little massage, a gut massage, because it's getting more pressure on one side than the other. And now switch legs. So here we're just again holding one knee toward the chest. Breathing. You're breathing into the belly. And straightening out the leg on the floor. Bringing your arms down to the side. And then just bringing the bent leg toward the floor. So in that general direction, I don't have it on the floor. I'm not going to force that. So there's just a little twist in the back. I'm looking in the opposite direction. And now extending both legs, bending the leg that was just straight and letting that move toward the floor. In the opposite direction and just again breathing into the belly, feeling the belly expand, feeling that twist coming back to center. And both legs back to center. Holding your knees and just bringing the head up. Gently rocking from side to side. And the head down. And then having your lower legs parallel to the floor. So there's sort of a 90-degree angle here. But now moving them in a circle. You can have your hands out to the side. Pressing down with the hands if you'd like. Just moving the legs in a circle. You're going to keep breathing. Now, if this hurts your low back, first pull your belly button in really tight and see what that does. If the pain goes away, keep doing this. If it doesn't go away, then put one foot down, all right? And just do these circles with one leg and then the other. So just paying attention to how your back is handling this. I actually do a lot of abdominal exercises because my low back is kind of inherently weak. So I try to keep my stomach as strong as I can to protect my low back. Keep breathing. And then coming to stillness, putting both feet down. And pressing the feet into the floor and just lifting up into a little bit of a back bend, kind of moving your shoulder blades to the side. So here we're just stretching the abdominal muscles and then rolling the back down and tightening your belly and bringing your knees up. Now I'm going to put my hands behind my head, but I'm not pulling on my head, so don't do that. Don't pull. It's just you're just letting your hands be there, and we can bring opposite elbows toward the knee. Going to keep breathing. They help with all of the all of the abdominal muscles. So we've got fibers that go up and down, fibers that go around that we can tighten up when we pull our belly button back. And then the obliques, the ones on the side. And as we're lifting our elbows up, we're using those muscles. And then I'm coming to stillness. Hands to the side. And pushing the hips into the air. And kind of breathing into the belly so that I can feel those muscles expanding, the ones that we were just tightening. Just pausing here. Feeling the weight of the body, back of the head, the shoulder blades, the feet. Pressing down. And rounding the back down to the floor. And bringing the knees up. And really appreciating sort of that moment when the back is on the floor and those muscles relax. And again, sort of rolling side to side. Putting one foot down and extending the other foot toward the ceiling, pushing the heel up. And just drawing big circles. And keep the belly button tight. And you can draw little circles if you prefer. Going in one direction and then the other. And figure eights. In one direction. And then the other. And coming to stillness. And doing these figure eights with your toes. So one direction and then the other. The eights are standing up and one direction and then the other with the eights like down. Circling. And then coming to stillness, feeling the tingling or whatever sensations you may be aware of. And that foot down, bring the other foot up. pressing the heel toward the ceiling, feeling those muscles stretching. Drawing circles with the leg, one direction and then the other. And just sort of feel this little warming up in the hips. Circle 8, lying down, up. And then just with the toes. So keeping the legs still. And just moving the foot. Circling. The stillness, feeling the activity, lifting both knees and bringing your feet together, bringing your hand under your feet and going side to side. And moving your feet around, moving your legs. So this is sort of a happy baby posture. So just sort of playing, with moving. Maybe lifting the hips up, extending one foot and then the other. And this is really a great stretch for the muscles of the upper legs. I'm just kind of rolling around. Just coming back to stillness. And just feeling how it is inside the body. I really love that, just moving around, playing around with that happy baby pose. My spine feels a little bit more limber. And I feel like, it was a nice stretch in my legs. Now I'm going to put my hands again behind my head. I'm not pulling my head. My feet about hip width apart. And now I'm going to try to lift my shoulders of my head toward the ceiling. To keep the gaze on the ceiling. So we're just doing these little crunches. Don't pull your head up. And keep the elbows out. And by going up instead of forward, we're keeping our neck in a neutral angle. And into stillness. And then once again, just twisting up through the elbows toward the opposite knee. Now I'm just keeping my legs still, but you know, if you want to add leg movement, you could do that. That's just going to involve some other of the abdominal muscles, the ones that are lower in the belly. And coming to stillness, feet down, hips up. Noticing, noticing how the body feels. Now, you know how much you like this. Bring one foot up. So to make this figure 4, lifting the foot on the floor, bringing the hands under the thigh. And then just gently pulling the thigh toward you, toward the body. I'm lifting my shoulders up. Just moving gently side to side, so my stomach is engaged because my shoulders being lifted, but there's this nice stretch in the hip. And I'm using the elbow on the same side as the foot that's raised to kind of push out a little bit on that knee. And coming down to the floor. Both feet to the floor, and then lifting the other foot to the leg. Lifting the foot that's on the floor, lifting the shoulders to put the hands behind the thigh. Again, just sort of moving a little bit side to side. And just slowly pull the thigh, pull the foot closer to my body. And while I'm using my elbow to push my knee a little bit further away from the body, just until I feel that stretch in the inner and the hip joint. A little bit of a stretch with movement. And we're gonna head down, feet down, and just let the knees all together. I'm taking a couple of breaths here. I'm going to roll over onto the stomach. So I'm going to extend one leg, press down with the foot of the bent leg, and turn over. I'm just coming up onto my elbows. I've got my elbows below my shoulders. Don't like fall into the shoulders, but in the back engaged. Like the neck out of that little shoulder depression. Elongating the back, elongating the neck. Gaze is going to the forward. I was feeling this little back bend. Feeling the breath, you can really feel on the in breath, the belly pushing into the mat. And if it's hard, if it's uncomfortable for the back, then come back down flat. Here we can bring our knees up. So just bringing your hands and knees now onto the mat. Let your knees kind of come apart, maybe toward the outside of the smaller mat. And then letting the upper part of the body rest on the floor. You can put your hands forward. You can let your hands go behind you. Let your head do whatever is comfortable. You can let your head rest on your hands. And finding the most comfortable position. Now coming up to hands and knees. And then turning your toes under. Again, pressing down and raising the hips. And here, just straighten one leg and then the other, sort of pressing back a little. And once again, you're going to feel this nice stretch in the back of the legs. As you bring the heel down toward the floor. And then just holding this downward dog. Bringing the knees back down to the floor. And once again, just coming down to this child's pose or this relaxed position. Then back up into the downward dog. And walking the hands and the feet together. Let the knees be bent a bit. And then curling up. So just letting the back curl up from the low back, letting your hip and come up last. You want to do this slowly. Give your head and your ears Time to acclimate to standing up. And then here's just something to practice, something to play with. And you can just, however it works best for your feet, and that's going to depend upon your hips, the angle of the hip socket. But this is something worth practicing. Is coming down into a squat. Moving around a little bit, just again, something to play with. And pressing in to come up to standing. I'm going to come back and down. And finding a comfortable posture. Full seated posture. Saying again how the body feels. Gathering the attention. Just bringing it into the body to notice the movement of the breath. Noticing the air moving in the upper airways or the belly and chest moving. With appreciation for yourself, for doing this work, for doing these exercises, keeping the body moving. All right. Thank you. The short practice today.